Kyle Bradshaw from Cruiser Customizing.
Beck with Tucker Distributing.
On this week's Wednesday with Greg, we want to talk a little bit about motorcycle maintenance and what kind of maintenance you can do in your own garage and what you should really say, you know what, this isn't really my forte, this really isn't my skill set, I should probably take this to a shop or a trained professional.
Yeah, sometimes you have to look inside and say, am I really capable of doing this? And if it's something that could really affect how your bike works, like brakes, things like that, that could cause you harm if they don't work properly, you might consider maybe having a friend come over who knows, and make sure your friend does know, or taking it to a shop and pay. It's not that big a deal. I mean, literally, I like to do some of the stuff on my bikes, not all of it.
Along those same lines, I mean, something like a jet kit, right? I mean, carburetors are a pretty simple device. Once you break it apart and you understand the components, and that's the key. Understanding the components, understanding how each of the different parts affects the motorcycle and things of that nature. For example, if I were to watch a YouTube video of the carburetor breakdown and learn what each of the components do and watch the installation, anybody who can turn a wrench or a screwdriver, I would say, you know what, it's a good learning experience. I'd say go ahead and do it. So when you're talking like a carburetor or something of that nature, most of those tools you have normally laying around the house. Some screwdrivers, some Allen wrenches, some open-end wrenches, and you can pretty much get that job done. Adjusting your valves.
There might be special tools needed. Some bikes need special tools to do some of the service work. Do you want to buy that special tool? Or are you going to keep the bike for a long time? I mean, I had one bike for 18 years. Did I have some of the special tools? Yeah, I did. But it made it worthwhile.
But there's certain things you just don't necessarily want to get in or tackle, or you might be afraid of tackling those things.
Yeah, or sometimes even just pulling wheels off can be difficult sometimes. Some bikes, believe it or not, need special tools to take the wheels off.
If you're planning on doing a tire change in your garage, for example, a 1500 Goldwing, or even some of the Harley-Davidson baggers, you got to take bags off, supports off, you got to take exhaust pipes off. The job can be slightly more entailed than just removing the wheels.
Yeah, and does the bike have a center stand? Can you take both wheels off at the same time safely?
Absolutely, Greg. When doing motorcycle maintenance or thinking about what maintenance you want to do yourself, take a look at what goes into or what you'd have to remove from the motorcycle in order to get to that segment. And then is it something that's fairly simple, step-by-step type of instructions? Or is it something that should be probably done by somebody who is trained in that particular section?
Yeah, and sometimes some shops, their labor to do that is so cheap. I mean, how much is your time worth? I have been frustrated before, and I'd rather pay somebody sometimes to do it.
So there it is. A lot of the maintenance on your machine can be done at home in your own garage, especially if you've got a buddy down the street or a friend in your riding club that is a proficient mechanic. But it all boils down to, if you have any doubts or reservations whatsoever, talk to a professional, get some advice, and then make your decision. Thank you for watching this week's Wednesday with Greg.
And ride safe.